What's up, guys? Anklespankin here, and today we are doing something a little different. I wanted to try doing a analysis game for you guys, a replay analysis of a game that I played on my main a couple days ago in ranked. Now, in this game, I was playing Kog'Maw AD carry, solo queue, just playing on my own, as I have been on this, and this was a really good game for a lot of reasons. I felt like it displayed a lot of different things, a lot of very important skills that I can talk about, because while I was playing alone, I was in a Discord call with my challenger friend Isaac, who was, I was screen sharing my Discord, and he was helping coach me as I played this game, which was really cool of him, and I hope to bring him onto the channel soon for you guys to hear from as well. So, I wanted to go over this game, like I said, and really try and break it down for you guys. And before I do, I just want to let you guys know there is one thing that I'm going to be doing starting very soon, but I need you guys to help me with it. And that would be something we're going to call Ruru Q. And basically, it's going to be you guys tweeting at me on Twitter, obviously, with the hashtag RuruQ, and asking me questions so I can answer. And you'll see yourself pop up in the video. I'll answer the question in the video. It should be a good time. I haven't figured out exactly how we're going to do it, but that's the general idea of it. So if you guys have questions, RuruQ. RuruQ. But starting off the standard game here. Leash. No surprise there. I'm Kog'Maw. Use my W. Low mana cost. Helps the jungler a lot. Now going into this lane, we are Kog'Maw Braum against a Vayne Janna. Now, the first thing you should think about in any lane as an AD carry is, do I win this lane? Like, just based on champions, do I win this lane? Do I win the 2v2? If the support's roam, do I win the 1v1? In this lane, I should win. This is a lane that I should win, because Vayne has inferior range to Kog'Maw during my, my opportune poke timings, and I also have a very strong support in the Braum, where Janna is more of a support that provides disengage, shielding, and lots of kind of encouragement for her AD carry. Now right here, I actually should have gotten a lot more aggressive a lot sooner. So I'm going to actually dial it back here for just a second, because I want to really point this out to you guys. If you look at the wave right here, there's 5 minions here and 6 minions on mine. Now, as I'm sure you guys know, bot lane, to get to level 2, you have to kill the full first wave and then the 3 melee minions of the second wave. So playing this out here, I was sitting here actively pushing this because I know I want to get to level 2 very quickly with a Braum. If he lands a Q on either of them, we can get a tremendous amount of damage. I slow them, he Qs them, we get a huge amount of damage. So we got level 2 here. I did not step up though. I should have been much more aggressive here and just run straight at them, because they still needed to kill that minion that just died right here, and then one of these 4 as well before they're level 2. So I realized it late, and we were still able to get some advantage in the lane, force them to miss a minion, but I wasn't able to really capitalize on it as I would have wanted. But taking a couple shots there, free damage, that was unretaliated damage, good trade. That's one thing you do with Kog'Maw. Stop it, follow me. That's one thing you do with Kog'Maw, is if you know that they use their abilities, like in that example, Janna had used her shield. So I can have my W on and get these free autos. Whenever I am in range, just auto. If I don't need to go for a minion, hit the auto. If she's going for a minion, hit the auto. When you have your W up as Kog'Maw, your auto attacks do so much damage. And that can be applied to any champion, obviously. That's not just Kog'Maw. If you can get free autos in, do it. Those autos will add up. Now, I'm going to pause here for just a second, because I want to point out one thing that I want you guys to kind of pay attention to while I'm in this lane. I will be poking the Janna a lot, because in a Janna lane, you don't really want to poke the AD carry. Because more often than not, when you go for the poke on the AD carry, Janna's going to shield her. So instead, I want to try and damage Janna, who will not be able to sustain it back up, and will be able to, actually take the damage and be under a lot more pressure due to my damage on her. So pay attention to that. I will be damaging her a lot more than I am trying to hit the Vayne. And that's very relevant, because it's very important. And I'm saying that because you guys should pay attention to that more. We have a ward in that bush, see the Kog'Maw, walk away. Simple as that. He tries to jump in, I throw the E the direction I'm running. Vayne goes for the flash here. I think I just flash and get out. It was pretty iffy. I actually almost kill myself here because I tried to step back and get the auto attack for the stun, but I don't die, and it's all good. So, the successful gank on the Kog'Maw's part, it busted a lot of our summoner spells, but it busted an actual even amount of summoner spells on the enemy team, so it's actually not that bad for us, all things considered. So I go back, what'd I grab here? I grabbed double daggers. Now, should I just leave this open? How do I... I'm so sorry that I am so new to the, this whole replay thing. Okay, so Z's chat. I know it's tab for this. I mean, we can just hold this up. But there's some... Wait, I can... Oh my god, I can record... This thing is... so stylish. Okay, what's this? Toggle directed camera. Where's my interface? There we go. Boom. We'll have it just up like this. And for this video alone, through the magic of show business. Ooh. And just like that, I moved a little bit to the side. Just in case you guys need to see that shit. You guys won't need to see shit in our base on the minimap, so don't worry about it. And back to the action. So double click me, hit the play button. But I did choose to go for the double daggers here because, of course, Kog'Maw, Ginsu's rush, very standard stuff. So what I'm doing here is I know that since they were trying to push it, but they couldn't push very quickly while I was backing there, they couldn't get this entire wave under the tower. This literally granted me a free freeze. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. By freezing this lane here, and knowing that they don't have the AD carry's flash, that puts her in a very vulnerable position. And it also makes it so I can deny them a lot of minions and keep it in a safe place for me to CS because I don't have flash either. So keeping it frozen here is really beneficial for me for a lot of reasons. I think I messed that up right there, but it still looks pretty frozen. And at this point, since Vayne is back in the lane, I have to actually match her to keep it frozen, but I think I do a very good job of keeping this frozen here, if I remember correctly. And try and pay attention to how I kill the minions to try and keep it frozen here, because now that Vayne is here and fighting, it gets a little more difficult than just last hitting the minions, because you have to make sure that you are following the attacks that she does to keep it in this place that is favorable to you. Now, one thing you can also notice if you really want to get intricate with it is look at the number of minions. I'm trying to keep this on what I would call a slow push towards my side to get it refrozen on my side of the lane. What you might notice here is that it is 3 casters, a siege minion on both sides, but their side has 1 extra melee minion. This means that their side is 1 minion higher than mine as far as the minions go, right? Very simple, very standard, and you wouldn't think much of it, but that 1 minion is more than enough to allow it to actually push, right? It pushes towards me, but since it's only 1 minion, that actually puts it in a very manageable position for me to be able to handle the wave, so as soon as I do get it to a point where I want it to be, I can really put my foot on the gas and put it into a freeze. So, if you're trying to get a wave into a favorable position, try and remember to do that, because just using that numbers advantage there is really good. I chose to wait here because I had another wave crashing in, and now I can start going harder into this wave to keep it where it is, depending on how hard Vayne goes. But as you can see, just with that, the wave stays exactly where it is, right outside my tower. I start picking up the auto attacks. It stays right here. The next wave is coming in as my last two mage minions are dying. Good stuff. So this is how the lane phase is going to go for a Kog'Maw. For any champion that you want to really farm with, you want to just farm. Because, yes, AD carry, you can get kills in lane, you can get aggressive, you can do all these big things. But more than anything, you want to farm. You want your items, you want to get huge. So, just keep playing it like this. Infernal Drake is up, so if I were playing this right now, I would want to really, really get a handle on that. But that's not really in my control right now. So for now, we're just farming up till 6. She steps up really too far, and Braum jumps on it. Really good. I get the slow. I get the auto attack for the stun. Don't know why I backed off there. Actually, really, really bad choice to back off. I should have run right at her because we know I'm going to actually dial this back just in case you guys didn't see it. So Janna walks up really far here, used her shield on Vayne. So what this means is that Janna is really far up out of position with no shield. Braum sees this, jumps on the minion, and gets the auto attack and Q off on her, so I can get the stun off on her. Vayne condemned here, and Janna uses her tornado. The only thing that Janna has is her flash. Well, I guess her exhaust is back up too, but she only has her summoners. If I were to go really hard on this, I had nothing stopping me, because no Vayne condemn, no Janna tornado. I just keep running here. I get the stun on this auto attack and get her low. I backed off. That was wrong. I very, very easily could have just kept walking at her and either gotten a kill or gotten her summoner spells. And I should have. So, just a mistake that I didn't, but I really wanted to point out everything that went on there so you guys can try and start thinking about, oh, this is why I would have done this, or this is why I should have done this. Because League is a very dynamic game. It's not something you can just say, this is the situation, this is what you do. You have to understand the why, so that way you can really react. You can't just go into a game with a set game plan and execute it every single time. It just doesn't work like that. League changes too much. So, understanding the why and knowing why you do what you do is really important. And this right here was really good stuff because we actually have them in a very disadvantageous position right now. We're getting really aggressive because Janna is so low and doesn't have potions. And we have the Braum, right? Braum is so strong in lane phase. So literally all we have to do is stand really aggressively. And what can they do? So get the stun here. I don't think that's a kill. Again, let's look how low Vayne is. That's another auto or two and she's dead. I could have very likely just kept walking forward and gone for another auto or two and gotten her summoner spells. So that's my fault. I definitely should have tried to do that. But good job, Skarner, getting the dragon. I actually choose to stay here because I get my ultimate and kind of want to poke them down. And also just because, how much money do I have right now? I have 1,600 gold. I actually have a lot of money. I don't know why I didn't back there. I think it was just because I didn't need to. And the longer I can actually stay in lane right now, the longer I force Vayne to stay in lane with no mana and low HP. So, while if I had backed there, that would have been an okay back to do, because there was such a big wave under her tower that would have forced her to deal with that wave and then back. So I would get my items first, and I could get the wave back into a position that I wanted to be in myself. But on the other hand, since Janna had to back, we have an experience advantage right now. We are both level 6, only Vayne is level 6 on their team. So, if this pushes towards me, which I'm not letting it do, we would have the ultimate advantage. But it looks like... what am I doing? I think we were just warding because someone was pinging about Kha'Zix being in our jungle. So, just going to get our tri-bush warded because we didn't have any vision. So that's totally fine. And this actually puts it back into a position where it's on our side of the map. Vayne pushed it, and that was not smart on her part. By pushing it there, like I said, we have the advantage right now. Our ults are all in at level 6 is much stronger. We have Ignite, they have Exhaust. We have Braum and Kog'Maw. They have Vayne with no items. Like, we just have such a stronger all-in right now. And it looks like Janna backed. And due to how the lane was, I didn't have any vision of it, but they weren't showing, and I figured that because it had been a long time for Vayne, she would want to back here. So I had, you know, a little intuition feeling right there that she backed. I pushed that wave very quickly, back as soon as I can. So now that gets under the tower and resets for the time that I get there. So go back, spend my money. I've got a lot of money here. I've got 2250 gold. Not enough to afford my full Zonias, but enough to afford... oh god, what am I doing? There's so many buttons. Jesus. But enough to afford... oh my god, if I hit tab one more time, I'm going to scream. Enough to afford the components of Ginsu's and Berserker Greaves. But since I didn't have room in my inventory for the Blasting Wand, I actually just grab Pickaxe, Recurve Bow, and Berserker Greaves. Berserker Greaves are really good. Boots are actually very strong. People really undervalue them on AD carries. But they have a really huge effect. That movement speed is huge. The stats that they give, very, once again, huge. But I am in a very, very strong spot right now. As far as CSing goes, I have 89 in 11.5 minutes. It's not bad. I'm waiting for my Braum to get back to lane before I start stepping up, because if I just go too far forward, there happens to be a Kha'Zix in the river or anything like that, I'm just going to get jumped. I'll have to bust my summoners. It's not going to be pretty. So, once again, as I was saying earlier, get the freeze. She pushed a rather large wave to my side, but didn't hard shove it, meaning she basically gifted me a freeze, right? But Braum got the Q off there. I get the stun. My damage is huge. Burst her down in an instant. She goes to the flash. Doesn't matter because she's on my slow. Get the really, really clean double kill right there. And obviously, now that we have killed them, we push this out. Try and get all these minions dead. Try and get damage on the tower. And that was huge. So, we are obviously in the lead bot lane now, right? 2-0. I have a minion advantage. I'm Kog'Maw, so I'm scaling. And I'm actually choosing to back, or I should be choosing to back here, because they've already spawned, right? And if I were to back right now, I'd be able to get back to lane pretty rapidly. Oh wait, no, this is why I didn't. Because Skarner really wanted to dive them. And since they had used their summoners when we killed them, this is actually a really smart dive, because we have a lot of CC. Skarner can just run out and grab, and it would be so easy to execute. But, spoiler alert, Skarner does mess this up. I want to point this out because it's really, really important. Had Skarner just waited, it would have been fantastic. But this man right here decides to pull the trigger just a smidge too early, because we need minions under the tower to dive them. We can't just run at the tower. So as our wave dies, before I can kill this wave, Skarner starts to run right at the Vayne as soon as he sees her. Meaning he flashes and pulls her into the bush while I'm here stuck clearing the wave. I cannot run up there and help yet. So, luckily for us, Kha'Zix fails that. I overstep my bounds like a dummy, have to bust my flash and heal, and this gets completely botched. Singe teleports down, all 5 are bottom. It was terrible. Granted, if it was all 5 bottom there, I still get a kill with my passive. But if it was all 5 bottom there anyways, we would have still died no matter what. But had Skarner just waited for me to push that wave out, we would have definitely been able to go a lot harder for that dive, a lot more safely. So, bit of an unfortunate situation. They're pushing, no surprise. I'm just going to fast forward this a little bit until I spawn again. Here I am. I am the fucking Void champion, I guess. Walk back to lane, lose the tower. It's not a huge deal because I do believe that someone else got their tower first. I get my Rage Blade here, catch this big wave, and this is where the macro play starts really happening, because we are out of lane phase now, right? Our tower is taken, and I was talking to Isaac right here. I was like, okay, so I have a question. What do I do? Because I see this so many times. I will take an enemy's tower, or I'll lose my tower, and then I don't know what to do, because, you know, if I take my tower, I look at the map and say, oh, my top laner hasn't taken his tower. Switch with the top laner. The top laner goes bottom, I go top, take the top laner's tower. It's just simple map plays, simple rotations. But in this situation, my top laner has taken his tower, I lost mine, and my tower is still up. I didn't know exactly what to do, so I was like, Isaac, what do I do here? He was just like, just take the tower. I was like, that's it? Like, it's that easy? And he was like, yeah, just work on taking your tower. There's no reason for you to be out of lane unless you are in danger. Or, for example, if they have Rift Herald shoving down mid or something. But that's the simple answer. You have to get this outer tower. Even if it wasn't low, it's the easiest tower on the map to take. All the outer turrets are going to always be easier to take than the turret that is behind it. So, very easy to get it that way. The next Infernal spawned. With Vayne mid, with Cassidin teleporting, that lane is fine. Trinimir's got top just fine. I've got bottom with Janna. They know Cassiopeia just backed. This dragon is free. And with Janna being the only one here, this is also a free turret for me. Because I've got a big wave. I can kill it. Janna decides to step in my fucking face. And I say no. Now, Cassiopeia is a freaky one. She is a real freaky snake. I can 1v1 her if I do not get stunned and if I also avoid her poison. But I don't need to 1v1 her. I have a Braum. So all I have to do is avoid the stun. That's all I have to do is just avoid Cassiopeia's stun. And I mean, if it doesn't even go off, even better. So just use the Braum to my advantage. The Ginsu's power spike is huge. Get the tower, get a kill, super free. Kill-wise, we are definitely behind. Kha'Zix is huge, and this is why macro play is important. Because I'm 4-1-0, and the gold is like dead even. Dead even. Both at 27k, but we have 2 dragons and a really big Kog'Maw. So what do? Well, top lane is taking some hits from Kha'Zix, but Cassiopeia is dead and Tryndamere is dead. I can't really get mid to help on anything. I can't go top at all to stop that tower from going down. I don't know what she was doing. I should have turned on Janna a lot faster right there too, because I definitely could have killed her if I just turned on her. Or at least done a lot more damage. So we can just keep on chilling here. Singed is here, and this is very important. Utilize the power of your champions. The teleport's coming in, I get exhausted, and as long as I can kite properly, this is easy. So easy, because Singed is just someone who's just going to run at me. And as long as I use my auto attacking properly, super easy. Pop the W, walk, auto, 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 auto. Janna saved my life there. And I'll be honest, I'm actually going to tell you guys a little secret here. That stutter stepping or blocking was very not clean. Because I'm still trying to get used to something that Isaac told me about, which I'll actually show you guys in future videos. I'm trying to get used to holding spacebar down and locking my camera when I'm in a fight. So I've always been a person that played on unlocked camera, but if you're playing in a team fight with a locked camera on, you can keep your eyes on yourself without really keeping them on yourself. Like, you just know you're always going to be in the middle, so you can play around that a lot easier. It made it very, very easy to really pay attention to where I was and what was happening around me. So it looked a little wonky there because I really just wasn't comfortable with it yet. This was the first game I was practicing it, so that's why that looked terrible. But it still worked out. Janna shoves me back with the Monsoon, saves my life. Braum gets a big ultimate. I can go forward here. I do need to be careful because of this. I think we just died because I wasn't paying attention. I don't think I kill her. Yeah, so I just run down, try and get the minions. But again, 4 people bottom, so my team does the right thing, takes mid. They just see everyone bottom because we had just killed Singed, and then the other 4 showed up bottom again, so all 5 bottom. And knowing them, you know, my team knows they can't come save it, right? So just take the mid turret. So for me and Braum dying and killing Singed, a 2-for-1, but we get a turret. So that's really good for us as a team, but due to the minions they got and due to the shutdown gold and whatnot, they actually are ahead on gold right now. But as you can see, game is still very close, so it's not a big deal. What do I have now? Okay, so I have money for my full Wit's End. That is also huge. Kog'Maw getting Wit's End is such a massive power spike because all of his Bio-Arcane Barrage damage, his Q, his E, his R, all of his damage, aside from his actual auto attacks, is magic damage. Ginsu's magic damage. All the on-hit effects, magic damage. So Wit's End, shredding magic resistance, giving more magic damage on hit, and giving attack speed and MR. Really, really strong item. Plus it only costs 2,500 gold. So very cheap for a very strong power spike. And as long as I play around my range, I am huge. So in this situation, what do? I'm just going to sit here and look at this with you guys. I keep trying to hit tab to bring up the scoreboard. I am so sorry. But we can look at it this way. Not that scoreboard. The thing that shows like all the timers at the top. But we see Baron is not up for a while. Dragon, I don't even know when it's up. It's not up for a long time. So no Baron, no Dragon. There are no outer turrets. No one is dead. What do? Basically, we want to try and keep each of the lanes pressured because we have a strong team when I am there. If I am there, that is good. And if they are the team that is ahead, you have to do your best to not let them get the pressure themselves. Because if the enemy team gets the pressure and they get the starting foot on everything, they can start clearing vision in your jungle, placing their own vision with champions like Kha'Zix, and getting picks off and snowballing off of that. So you have to be somewhat aggressive in the sense that as long as you're working together with someone, you know, it's hard for Kha'Zix to just one-shot you alone, or when you're not alone. When you are alone, Kha'Zix feasts on that. But, as I was saying, we have a split pusher in Tryndamere, who's very, very good at doing that. We have a split pusher in Kassadin, who's very, very good at doing that. And we have a huge team fighter in me and Braum. So we can kind of think about that and have our split pushers in the side lanes, keeping those pressured. And I actually want to sit here and keep clearing waves mid, but also after I've cleared the wave mid, I don't want to do what I am doing right now. I should actually ping my Braum and be like, hey, after we clear this wave, we need to just walk into their jungle. Clear the vision in this side of the jungle here, because we know Cassin is down here, and we know that as long as I am with my Braum, I have a lot of protection. And this was just shoved, so they have to clear this wave. So pinging on the way here, we can establish vision in their jungle around the dragon, and also clear out anything we can. Or, because someone has to answer this wave for Cassidon, we sit in this bush hoping that someone is going to walk through from mid to try and clear this wave. Or, if she steps up too far, we just walk behind her and kill her. Now that this is under the tower though, and this is starting to push back to our mid turret, instead of going so far over here, we just go back to mid lane, clear the wave, and keep on doing that over and over again until someone messes up. Because that is the easy way to think about League. You play until someone makes a mistake. Now, me in this situation right now, I'm going to take a lot of damage. It was a big whoops, but I messed up. You know what happens? Braum takes the initiative, goes really hard with the flash. Cassiopeia has to flash out. And I'm like, okay, shit. But it's not a big deal. I took a lot of damage, but I just potion it up. Braum stacks, just more potions, and now everyone's in mid. So this is fine. This is actually fine. We have a really good team to fight with. We want them to fight us. What we want to avoid is based on their team comp. We do not want to sit here and try and pick fights that are Kha'Zix getting picks. We want to actually fight. I am such a massive threat right now that if we fight around me, we win. So, try and keep the pressure up. The dragon is spawning soon. It's another Infernal. And this is perfect. We have vision in their jungle. That's really good. We don't have vision over here, which is not as good, but you know, it's hard to go get that when we don't have any way to go get that. But we do have the pink here. We have, well, no, we have my man here. Excuse me. Let me correct myself. God damn. But we have this vision here that just expired. Unfortunate. But Skarner uses his Rift Herald they picked up earlier down bottom. They try and make the call to do Baron? What the fuck? What? Really? That seems so weird to me. I forgot they even did this. Okay, so they get Baron, I guess. But as long as I sit here and kite this out, let's watch this fight unfold. Skarner grabs the Singe so he can't fling me, and I just auto him down. That was aggressive on their part. The flash. Ooh, that was a big slow. Does anything happen after that? So they get Baron, but look at this. Rift Herald is just pounding at their inhibitor turret. So they have to go deal with Rift Herald. Even though they got Baron, they are not in the driver's seat right now. They have to deal with the Rift Herald they ignored, and instead of anything else, they lose a character after the Baron, and we get a mid turret. So we got 2 turrets off of that, right? Yeah. Rift Herald gets bottom turret, we get mid turret, so they got Baron, we got 2 turrets. That gold gain is the exact same on both sides. So just because they got Baron doesn't put them in the lead. Sure, they have a Baron buff, but the gold gain was actually in our favor because we killed Singed and got 2 turrets. So, oh, that's not an Infernal, that's just the dragon icon. Cool, good to know. So it is a Cloud Drake. Skarner's chilling there. Go for the dragon. I think it's pretty easy to get, and I was sitting there in the base trying to decide what to buy. In this game, I'm going to go for a Frozen Mallet because they have Kha'Zix running after me, they have Vayne running after me, they have Singe running after me. Frozen Mallet makes sense. As long as they're just auto people, keep them slowed. Really, really solid item. So what do we do around the map now? Yes, we are strong. We like to fight. We like to try and do damage. I'm going to go get this jungle camp because no waves are pushing anywhere other than top. And top isn't pushing to the point where I have to be like, oh my god, I have to get there now. So get that on the way there. Cash this wave. Very easy. And basically, what we want to do at this point in the game is wait out the Baron. Because so many people make these huge mistakes where they're like, oh my god, I see a potential team fight. We have Baron. It's fantastic. Now, in this situation, I believe it was our Cassin that got caught. It happens. Mistakes happen. So they're just going to get the turret off of this, but Tryndamere is already splitting. Kha'Zix cannot just 1v1 him. There's no way. Tryndamere is just going to beat his ass in. So Trinity gets his inhibitor turret. All we have to do is defend this. We don't even need to worry about this tower. Don't try and defend these towers. If you are at a numbers disadvantage and you are losing your outer turret, do not go trying to defend it. Like, unless you know you can win, do not. Just give it up. It's just a turret. You can defend your Nexus turrets super easy. You can defend your inhibitor turrets super easy because of these walls. You cannot defend this super easily. If we step out here, all they have to do is run around here. They just run straight back and come right behind us and kill us. So we have to stay in the base here, give up the turret. It's fine. Tryndamere should be able to just murder Kha'Zix. Okay. Or maybe. Does he get him? What the fuck was that, boy? Well, an effort was made. But Tryndamere still got the turret. So even in that, they did get, what, a turret? Did they get 2 turrets or 1 turret? I think they got 2 turrets. Because this one was still standing. So it is, overall, a gain for them. Happens. But we still answered with a turret bottom. So now they have an exposed inhibitor. Their Baron is running out very shortly. As you can see, it's been a couple minutes after the Baron. Baron buff lasts for 3.5 minutes. So just wait it out. That's all you have to do. We didn't lose our inhibitor turret. So, in fact, it didn't even really take any damage. And that's really good. And I finished my Frozen Mallet here as well. So, gold deficit still. Skarner is 042. Tryndamere 140. I'm the only person positive on my team. I mean, Braum is technically positive for support. He's doing really well. Come over here, try and stop this. We see Singed is really far up. And Skarner being behind him, and me having Frozen Mallet, I can just run him and auto-attack him a bunch. This guy, if Skarner knew that his keyboard had an R key, would be very dead. But getting that much damage off on Singed and having him force his ultimate is really good as well. So Tryndamere doing exactly what a split pusher needs to do. Gain the pressure on that bomb side of the map where the open inhibitor is. Cassin is mid while they're pushing, and we see that they're pushing, so we all have to go back. We clear this wave, make sure this is pushing hard up here as well for the pressure, and go back to try and answer mid. Which for some reason they didn't keep trying to stay there. So this is actually even better for us, because we don't take damage on this turret. Nothing matters. Tryndamere stays bottom side. We obviously wouldn't know Janna is backing. I see the red buffs coming up soon. I want to grab that and then fight. Because the Baron is down. I have my Frozen Mallet. As long as I have the protection of Braum, we actually really want to keep fighting. Knowing how strong you are and how strong the enemy is really important. If you can play around their strengths and play around your team's strengths, it's really good. Because if you are not playing to the enemy team's strengths, it makes it a lot harder for them to do what they want to do. Like I keep saying, they have a team that wants to get picks. They want to get these picks out. They do not want to sit here and try and team fight. And this right here is really good situation because Tryndamere pounding on the inhibitor turret. We have the pressure mid. 2 people were top. We saw that on the minion wave. What can they do? They have to make a choice. So Tryndamere gets his inhibitor. We just rail the tower. And I think I just killed Janna here. I go for the flash auto. Yeah. So I think I get a little too big for my britches here. I don't think so. No, never mind. I don't. This is really good, actually. So just keep on autoing as I walk away. Red buff, Frozen Mallet. Kill that Singed. It's all good. Turn around for the Cassiopeia ultimate. Look at the kiting. Don't let them get on me. It's all good. If I actually, didn't suck, I would have killed Kha'Zix by autoing him. And I get outplayed. But even though we died, do we get ace? No, it was a 3 for 4. 3 for 4. We actually lose the team fight, but we got an inhibitor turret and an inhibitor. That's another really big net positive. Get those objectives, dude. Play around what is happening on the map. Tryndamere was killing himself to get that inhibitor. We run down mid, get that turret. It's all about answering and forcing them to react. So if you answer things properly, like they all had to react to Tryndamere, so we answered that with the mid push. They came to us, we reacted with a fight. It might have not been the best choice, but we reacted. Point is, we put our foot on the gas, and we made a play. We set the tempo. We got a lot more than we lost. So, wins and losses, balance them out. Don't make it so it's just like, how do I word this? you shouldn't only try and go for the things that are only 100% gains. Like, you have to really evaluate, like, what's probably going to happen. Yes, we're probably going to die, but what objectives do we get for dying? Like, we get so much for dying there. Or, in reality, we probably shouldn't have even died. We actually probably should have been able to get out with Tremere getting that inhibitor and us getting the mid turret. So, that was a misplay on us on dying, but it's going pretty well. And literally all we have to do, right here, I was actually pushing mid and pinging it, because if they go for the Baron, they have an inhibitor down bottom and inhibitor down mid, or inhibitor open mid. And Singed literally just ints into me right now, so I can just stand there and turret him down. And that's it. So avoid the Cassiopeia ultimate again as soon as I see that animation. Get right in the mix. Get the kills. Keep on going for it. And take that good team fight. Auto him down. Get the triple. And we can keep on fighting this, obviously. I mean, as long as I just don't get kited by Cassiopeia, it's a win. Tremere comes in with the teleport. And that's that. That's actually the end of the game right here, too. So, only coming back with a gold lead at the very end of the game. 10-3-3, playing around the Kog'Maw and playing around the map. That's exactly how you come back from a game like this, and that's how you win it. Well, not come back, but that's how you handle a game like this. And I really hope you guys understand a lot of the things I was saying there, and I hope it helped. Because I was hesitant to do a video like this, but I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Here's the stats for it. Stats, graphs. Obviously, your boy most damage in the game. Of course. No, I'm totally joking. But that was a good game. That was truly a very good game, in my opinion. And I really wanted to show it to you guys. Because that was a game that a lot of people would look at and be like, oh, freaking team's stupid feeding idiots. Uncarryable. This is bullshit. And it's like, no, there's a lot of ways to actually play around it. Just try and communicate. Don't over communicate though, because there were times in this game where during the game I was trying to tell my team what to do and make calls, but they're like, no, you're fucking stupid, idiot. Shut up, retard. And it's like, no, like, stop. And you don't even respond to those, because basically you make the calls whether they listen or not. That's not your issue. I mean, it sucks if they don't, but if you're making the calls that are the right calls, that's the best thing you can do. If they're just being toxic, mute them. They're not going to say anything useful anyways. Always communicate with pings if you're going somewhere. On the way, on the way, on the way. Always, on the way, on the way. If you're planning on going somewhere, on the way, on the way, on the way. Spam ping the fuck out of it. Let your team know what you are doing. If you ever watch Challenger games, they are pinging all the goddamn time. Because information is key. And utilizing that information and trying to make the best out of it based on what you have, and trying to make the best decision based on what you have, is how you play League of Legends. So, with all that said, if you guys do have further questions or things I didn't cover, please do let me know. This is my first time trying to do something like this in a very, very long time. I hope it helped. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, the Ruru Q thing, enjoy that. And yeah, leave a comment below if you guys like this or like my videos and my channel in general. Make sure you subscribe, tell your friends about me, because I'm kind of cool. I'm kind of like that cool parent. I'm like, hey kids, I've got cookies. But it's actually just League of Legends videos, and soon to be other game videos. Wink. But as I said, all that jazz. Like and comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys. And as always, I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace!